first of all, good evening to everyone. So it is very honor to be here with the all leaders and with their diversified expertise in the industry. So let us start with our these questions with the panel, very interactive panel discussion on the enterprise transformation in Indian manufacturing systems. Right. So I would start with Mr. Vimal. So Mr. Vimal, uh, what are the key transformations and advancement that connected enterprise introduced to the manufacturing industry?
Thank you and good afternoon to all of you. I think we are discussing a very interesting topic today. This is on what an enterprise connected systems can bring to an organization. I think first of all we need to understand how this industry is involved, and especially I'm talking about this because I come from an oil and gas industry. Oil and gas industry is more than 150-year-old industry. It was instrumented from the day one. So that means, because there are a lot of things which you need to do apart from operational efficiency. You need to take care of the safety aspect also, and how to operate a plant, etc. So the piece of instrumentation was always there. Only thing which was missing was the IT part of it. So in last few years, especially after invent of Industry 4.0, what has happened is this IPtization has happened. Because of this, what was happening only in the control room, now that information is IPtized and can be brought to IT systems. The benefit which we saw because of this and because of many other things which came in, because all these people, for example, if I talk about instrumentation company like be it Honeywell, be it Yokogawa, be it Rockwell, Automation, etc., those kind of companies, they also realize in due course of time, they have to take care of this need of digitalization of the whole system so that one, the things can be standardized. Second thing is, there is a place for heterogeneous systems to come in. The benefit what we saw in this is after all this coming in, the visibility of your operations went up. So, for example, our head operations sitting in his room without actually going to plant, of course he visits plants every day, he goes to the control room, he still looks at that. But even without going to plant, sitting in his own room, he is able to see what is actual versus target, which is happening is a as complicated unit like refinery I'm talking about, I'm not talking about a small unit. He can see on an entire plant level, including at a unit level, he can see how the things are performing. That is one. Second thing is, you understand we say data is the new oil. So once you have the data available, you can do lot many things around that. Typically that is happening in our industry as well. So once you have the data available, we started looking at what we should do with the data. And then we realized that there are a lot of opportunities of increasing efficiency. End of the day, if you see oil and gas industry, typically, what do we consume? Or what do we do, first of all? We bring crude, we process the crude. For processing crude, what you need is, you need energy. You need to use steam, you need power, you need to, increase the temperature for a cuts at a different, temperature, etc. In case we are able to do some advanced level analytics and then do some prediction, there can be many possibilities where I can save either on the utilities. In this case, the utility, if you see, is power, steam, etc., energy, what we consume. And at the same time, possibly, I can also make some optimization in some of my processes, which is typically happening in those kind of things. So what we are saying is, so operational efficiency is only one aspect of it. If I talk about many other things like your safety aspects and many other things, there are many places where these interconnected systems are opening up opportunities and bringing up new and new things where you can, and this is all possible because interconnected system made those data available to a central place. You can look at the data inventory, and some smart fellow, maybe ideally somebody who has a process background, can do a wonderful job with that after looking at the data, where all he can use this data for optimization of the process which is running at the back of the refinery. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vimal. Yeah, as you said, that this data can be analyzed properly and have the outcomes, and you can have the overall business visibility. So on this, would request Mr. Balwant.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks to the organizations for having me on the show. So if we talk about connected enterprise, what actually is the connected enterprise? It's a kind of, business come technology model which helps organizations to integrate, smart technologies into their business processes, operations, and across the cross-functional departments. I was studying a report which was released by market.us, and it was mentioned there that, globally, if we talk about manufacturing sector has seen significant, increase in the adaptation of connected enterprises with the expected growth of 42% by 2028. So this market has been, driven by the organizations which understand, we recognize the potential of connected enterprises, and obviously, like we talk about, organizations are leveraging the technologies, smart technologies like AI, ML, OT, IoT, data analytics, 5G, to have a robust productivity as well as drive their, their culture in digital transformation. Now coming to into the manufacturing sector, there are so many functions where these technologies are helping us. We can talk about like supply chain management, where real time monitoring is being done by the technology, and end-to-end visibility is there from supplier to the customers, how the raw material is going through. Second, like quality control, how the products are being, making in high standards. Then comes machine automation and optimization. Customer experiences, like how you are dealing with the customers, how you are, meeting the expectations of customers by the technology. Like you can have the bot platforms to interact with the customers as well using the AI, generative AI technology. Then one thing more, like we talk about workforce, productivity and safety. So augmented reality, virtual reality, these are some technologies which are helping workforces to upgrade their skills, right? So when having said that, the advancement, these kind of advancements have led organizations to, have these kind of technologies, and they are leading into connected enterprises technologies. Right.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Balwant. So now I would quickly jump into another questions to Mr. Krishnan. So, Mr. Krishnan, it's a very, I can say, good question. How can manufacturers effectively identify and choose the most suitable digital technology to meet their unique requirements and objectives?
Yeah, good afternoon. So it's very good question. Like, when we are going for the selection of any solution for the organization, so we have to keep so many things in mind. Like, if we talk about the business prospect, so what is my business, what are the processes, so then we have to clearly define, so what is the requirement and what is the benefit of that. So there are two aspects in my opinion, which, because technology one part, before selection of the any solution, we have to work around about the processes, business processes, what is the need, what is the gap. So that is very important, where we have to involve a lot of stakeholders, and map the processes. We have to define the workflows and the process in place, so that we can identify where is the gap and how the technology can add the value in that. So this is one aspect. Secondly, when we are going to select any solution, we have to be very carefully and have some parameters to select the solution. Like my solution should be compatible enough, should be flexible enough, should be scalable, so that in any case when we are going for the integration, because in our organization there are a lot of activities is going on, we want to integrate all the applications, so integration should be a main criteria, whether we can easily integrate. So compatibility is the main issue, where my solution is compatible or not. So these are some parameters where we can select the solution. After selection of solution, we have to, of course, we have to see the TCO also, cost of ownership. So cost of ownership is also very important. How much cost is going into involved into this solution? So in that case, we can identify 2-3 parameters where what is my initial cost of the solution and what is the implementation means ongoing cost. Then we can analyze the ROI of that. So these are few parameters where we have to mainly focus on that. And most importantly, selection of the vendor is very important. The competency of the vendor is very important in that particular solution, whether he is competent enough or not. So these are the aspects. But apart from that, in the back of mind, the management initiative and management commitment is also very important, so that it should be reflect down the line. Because for any successful project or any successful implementation, the top-down approach is required. So, and then of course, continuous change management is also required. Then continuous improvement is required. So these are few parameters where we can, if we adopt that, we can easily, make it successful.
Thank you, Mr. Krishna. Anyone else want to share his views on this? So, thank you, Mr. Krishna. Very well elaborated. So, next question to Mr. Vimal. So, what obstacles could companies encounter when deploying connected supply chain solutions, and what strategies can they use to address these challenges?
Sandeep, supply chain is a very complicated subject. It has been always there. So, two parts of supply chain, whether it is incoming or it is outward. Both sides there are challenges, because I can see world is getting complicated day by day. Every organization, they have their own style of functioning. On the supply side, if you see, one of the challenge which I personally see is, especially because I come from oil and gas industry, where, for example, in my material master, there are some 2 lakh material codes which are there. Only material codes, not service code I'm talking. Those 2 lakh material codes, how do they correspond to my supplier, is something which is a complicated game. In case I give a wrong material code, I am going to end up getting a wrong material. That too after 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, some cases it is 1 year also down the line that I'll come to know I have ordered a wrong material. So I think 2-3 things may not be directly related to interconnected system, but otherwise also there are a lot of systemic change which is required within that organization, first of all. So that is first, that is whether your material coding is correct or not. You also know there are a lot of internationally acceptable material coding standard like MESC, UNSPC, etc. Follow those material coding and follow them to the rightmost level you can do. Some of these material coding standards, they go as deep as 12 layers of material coding. So that means code, subcode, 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 subcode. In case your supplier also uses the same material coding, your job is easier to do, because there is a correlation between the two material codes. That is one. Second is, in case, one more thing probably which you need to do is, let us say that system is not there. Every manufacturer, they use their own part number. They don't use your part number.
Unique part number.
They use their unique part number. In case you have to order the material, in case you store their part number as a part of your material coding, your job becomes still easier, because for him identifying that part number will not be a difficult game. He can do it much faster. Right. And obviously his turnaround time will be much lower. On the interconnected part, I think one thing which we need to do, especially in large organizations, multi-locational, multi-unit, etc., the challenge which I see is what is lying in the warehouse may not be known to the user. Maybe he will approach warehouse, I don't know what warehouse will respond. So in case you can create that visibility where a user, especially the engineering team, can have a view of what material is lying. And one more thing, see, suppose I go with a material code, I say I want this material, the person will go into the system, he'll search for a material code, not available, he will say not available. But in case I open the larger system for him, he can see that this is a similar material which is lying over there. With a bit of engineering, he can use the same system. Now there are two benefits you are seeing. One is you are utilizing your unutilized inventory which is lying in the warehouse, point one. Point two is your turnaround time is much lower because this guy is able to start the job then and there immediately because he see some similar material lying over there. So I think these are some of the obstacles which we have seen. I know it's a complicated thing, especially for large organizations. But this discipline getting into the system. On the supply side, on the outward logistics side, if I see some of the things we are also trying to do, and possibly I'm sure this will get popular day by day. Truck is coming into my place. We load around 400 trucks a day. In case I have a visibility of the availability of the transporter truck, I can do my planning better. A classical example of the benefits which you can draw from an interconnected system. Every large transporter uses a VTS system, vehicle tracking system. Almost every one of them use. That means in case I can integrate my model, my planning model with their VTS model, in case they allow, and there is a two-way information exchange between two of the systems, then I can do my planning much better because I see the visibility of the available of the transport truck to me.
Thank you, Mr. Vimal. So I would request Mr. Pranada to put some more light on this. What strategies can use to address these challenges?
So good afternoon all of you, and thanks to Quantic Media for inviting us in this session. Just one request in future, if it is an award function, try to restrict the number of panel discussions. Otherwise, the awardees get, a lot of stress. Just hearing something because they are expecting the awards, I see. Anyway, let's come back to the point. And, the most important part in the people, process and technology is people. Process and technologies can still be handled, but the problem with people is change management. And change management is not well accepted by many in terms of the change in their lives, the change in their processes, the change in their daily ways of working, and even the way they look at systems at a completely different level. So I think the first thing is how to make sure that the change management is really implemented in the right spirit and manner so that everyone understands what is it in for them. If they understand that there is a benefit for them and it will really help them in achieving certain good results, I think they will definitely take it up. Generally, most of the cases, the acceptability becomes a problem because of the change is not well accepted by the team members in themselves, who are the actual users. Second is lack of sponsorship by the management. So you will see many digital projects or IT projects, the sponsors or the leaders who are supposed to lead the projects are actually taking back seats, and IT department or the digital team actually is running behind everyone to implement certain solutions because they know the technology, they know the business process, they know the pain areas, and they try to implement solutions at the ground level. But generally what happens is, unless and until the ask and the need is there from the users, and they look at those important projects as their priority, I don't think these projects can be, can take off, and many times projects actually fail because of prioritization by the users themselves. Third point is, these kind of projects should not be led by IT, it should be always led by the business team. They should own the KPIs, they should own the benefits, they should decide what they want to achieve, and finally after achievement, they should get the taste of success. Because a taste of success should not be done by IT team who generally is running behind pillar to post, and then finally at the end of the day, you say, oh, this is not working. And many times what happens is we generally tend towards the technology or the vendor or the supplier or the partner, but it should be business use case driven. Technology partner and the cloud or no cloud or whatever should be the back-end processes which will be supporting the business use case. So use case is extremely important, not the technology implementation. And last but not the least, another important thing is, the ownership by the IT team and also by the business. So a co-ownership has to be created. Now these all are possible when your top management is, fully focused at what they want to achieve. Many times digital transformation projects don't really take off very well because of the coordination between or the understanding between the management, the users and the IT team. So this understanding of three types of people in the organization are very different. Management looks at from balance sheet and P&L point of view. Users look from the day-to-day problem solving point of view, and IT looks from a technology lens. And apart from that, the partners' engagement is extremely important. Many times this also happens that partners' knowledge and partners' skills and partners' competency in delivering certain products and solutions is extremely weak. They don't understand what is business, what is process, what is the result, how to achieve, how does the competition of those businesses are performing, and how to make sure that they are ahead of the curve. So I think these entire ecosystem of users, management, IT and the partners actually has to work in a sync. Everybody has to work for a single objective, and then I think project successes will definitely happen over a period of time.
Thank you, Pranoda, for sharing these insights. So, yeah, it is very important to have collaboration between all the IT department, business department. Everybody should be synced for any kind of digital transformation. Thank you for this insight. So quickly moving to the next questions. To Mr. Subhendu. So, Mr. Subhendu, how does Industry 4.0 solution contribute to enhancing operational efficiency and achieve cost saving for the manufacturers?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Currently, in the current stage, if you see your manufacturing unit, 80% of the unit runs with the software. Okay. And 20% is the human intervention. So, earlier it was, if you think of 50, 60 years back, it was the other way around. That time we used to take the people from the ITI and all, so the technical guy will be running the systems. Today, it's all a software driven. Okay. So Industry 4.0 actually is a real evolution that how the industry will run with the data what you have in the system. The data is the gold mine for any industry. Okay, if you have the data and if you do the modeling of the data, it will give the wonder of any of the productivity, be it the cost, be it the efficiency, or your tuning and using the raw material. I just give an example. I am from paper industry. We cut trees, okay, and we have a bad name on that we cut trees, we are not eco-friendly, okay. But honestly, paper industry, each tree cuts, we plant 5 trees, okay. Now, from the tree, actually, you get a yield of fiber of 41% or 39%, okay. But if you increase 41% to 42%, that means you will be cutting at least 1 crore tree less in a year, okay. So that's the technology actually give it how we can optimize, and because how to extract the fiber from the tree, which all chemical we can use, or which all tree we can actually cut so that the fiber yield is much more. Okay, it's all data driven, and data will give the substance to do that. If you take another cost is for maximum industry is the coal power. Okay, you get the coal from different mines, different calorific value, but how to blend it? People have a standard that, okay, I need 900 degrees centigrade, I need 1200 degrees centigrade. But is it optimum, or we are actually burning more coal? Okay, if you have the data, sensors and data, all are available, all data sensors are available. If you put, you will see that there will be drastic change in the usage pattern, where you will save lot of energy, and if you are saving the energy, you are saving the cost also for the company. So this Industry 4.0 is mainly for the data driven, where we are actually looking to data, make some models, okay, sometimes you'll fail, remodel it, make the control loop, make the automated loop instead of keeping it to the operator to actually operate or make the set point, make the golden batch, that became your minimum again, improve it with the data again and again, so that you are actually improving the golden batch. So that's the way actually Industry 4.0 actually helps the companies to actually have a more sustainable world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Subhendu. So I would request Mr. Sudhir to share his view on this.
So good afternoon, everyone. So my view on this Industry 4.0 is that basically we will get the data on real-time basis to take the business decision. So to improve overall productivity, efficiency, and reduce the cost. So now the emerging technologies comes like AI, ML, where the data will be generated directly from the sensors of the machines to give the right information to the right people at the right time to take the decisions. So this will help overall in the supply chain. Right.
So thank you, Mr. Sudhir. So there are a lot of other ways who are contributing, like in in the measuring part through sensors, data, advanced alert of the sensors, and for temperatures of motors or big motors which are heavy in cost. So one proactive alert can save a lot of cost. And in our industry, I have seen many times where we have get alert from the sensors, and through which we have saved tons of materials, we can say, as we are a steel producer. So we have saved a lot of costs while having the wrong production due to these sensors and all. So thanks for your input. So quickly moving to the next question. So Mr. Sudhir, so in what ways could the progress in AI and ML future augment the functionalities of connected enterprise?
So AI and ML will help the manufacturing segment to give the data on the real-time basis along with the intelligence. This is an evolving part. Say AI is not generated. AI can be helped to give the certain rules which can be updated in the systems. It can be generated directly with the data, and that will help. So there are many technologies comes in, but it depends upon the business to tune a business which technologies fit best to them.
Mr. Subhendu, your input on that.
Yeah. See, AI is the key now, because that's the way we have to live it. Okay, whether you like it or don't like it. Okay, because that will give the actual value for your business. You have a lot of data. How to use the data? That's the biggest challenge. Okay, how to use and get right decision making from the data. Now AI should talk with ML. Without the machine learning, AI is useless. Okay, I can throw a very good algorithm to good product, but the machine does not work in that. I can run a machine in 300 RPM. AI is telling you should run in 500 RPM. Will the machine runs? No. So that's why that ML part, you take the machine learning and do a deep learning on that, run it through the AI, come to an optimized situation where the machine will get the optimized output. That's very, very important in that. If you have a lot of data, see, if you're running a AI model, we say 1 month data or 2 months data, definitely you're going to do a blunder. If you have a data of 1 year or 2 years, you will get the pattern, because all the industry, maximum of the industry run in seasonal way. Okay, if it is a summer, there's a different one. If any industry, 80% industry run in seasons way. So if you have the data of 1 year or 2 years, the AI prediction will be much more accurate than the less data. So it's important to have a lot of data, crunch the data, do the modeling. Okay, if you can do a digital twin, definitely it is a very, very good, because you are not touching the live system, but you are doing that through a digital twin. You are actually calibrating which is the optimum one. For the digital twin, you need to have a machine learning data also, machine data, real-time data, and you can do the more and more modeling. So AI and ML is a husband-wife. They have to work together, okay, to get the best output from their systems.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Subhendu. So now moving to Mr. Prana. So, Mr. Prana, what strategies can organization use to handle resistance to change during the implementation of connected enterprise initiatives?
So, first of all, as I was sharing in the beginning, it has to be top management driven. Any digital transformation projects have to be top management driven. And this has to link with your P&L or balance sheet. Why I'm saying this? Because any digital transformation will lead to certain business transformation. It can be process level transformation, it can be people transformation, or even it can be technology transformation. So when you look for digital transformation, and if it is not led by your top management, I don't think these projects will survive, or this project will have any kind of attraction for the management and also for the users. Second thing is the KPIs have to be very clearly defined. Many times what happens is we generally talk about intangible operational KPIs. Now this kind of KPIs used to be very popular 15 years back or 20 years back. Now it is time to look at financial tangible KPIs. Say for an example, how can you improve your revenue by 5% or 10% through digital transformation? How can you reduce your cost by 10% through digital initiatives? How can you improve your people efficiency or productivity by 10-15%? How can you reduce your waste? How can you reduce your energy consumption? And these all has to be translated into money. If it is translated into money, your CFO will also sign off, and also he will say, yes, these are the projects we must invest upon. Because if you look at every organization, the CFOs are extremely careful and cautious in especially doing capex investments, because you need a lot of cash infusion in your system, and then if the returns are very, very low, then nobody will be interested, neither your board, nor your management, nor your CFO will be interested in investments. So first of all, these KPIs have to be decided, owned by the management, that this we want to achieve. And next part is how to implement. Now, many times what happens is we take big bang approach, very large transformation projects, and generally many times we fail. It is always better to have a complete view, the complete macro view, or we say the big picture in place, but start implementing in pieces. Let's implement the first piece, maybe 10% of the project, get some success, maybe fail early, maybe learn quickly, and also learn with lesser price. If we do this kind of tactics or strategy, I think the chances of success will be much higher. Plus, if you look at a very big process transformation or a business transformation journey, then many times we lose focus on what is our priority, immediate priority, what is our mid-term priority, what is our long-term priority. So it's always better to look at short-term priorities, gain some insights, gain some advantages, get some success stories, look at low-hanging fruits, implement those, get successes, and then move on to the next phase. So if you go piecemeal by piecemeal and also in an agile method, I think the chances of success will be very, very high. And we have all learned through hardships. We have taken large transformation projects, we have taken small transformation projects. I'll give two examples. We have done an energy management system, a very small module, which is part of Industry 4.0, which saves energy in the shop floor or in the plant. Now that is a very small product with a small analytics, with some small dashboards and alert mechanisms, and it got a good success. We have already implemented around 20 plants, and another 50 plants will be implementing in next few months. But then we have taken a very large costing transformation project, and we went big bang, and we tried to implement in 75 plants at a time, and it did not really work very well. We are again doing a lot of changes, and we are looking forward for some re-engineering in that product itself. So the point here is the learnings are fail early, learn at a lower price, fail at a lower price, take the countermeasures, move on, and then take the next steps. I think that is what is the right way of handling digital transformation, because it's not a one-time initiative, it's a long journey. So once you are onboarded on the ship or on the boat of this journey, you need to really sail slow, and sail, efficiently and also with full concentration. I think that makes the transformation projects much easier to implement. Adoption also becomes very, very easy, and people get a lot of, I would say, motivation to implement on a larger scale. That's my
Thank you,
learning.
thank you, Pandita. So it would be the example of large pizza cut into pieces, right? So we need to start with the small and achieve the big one. Thank you, thank you. So I would request Mr. Krishna, what is your say on this?
Okay. So resistance is, I can see resistance in two ways actually. One is the technological part, where the technology resistance, and the second is the human resistance. So in any project, we have experienced all these kind of things. So whatever I have learned in my past, and I've seen that how to encounter both actually. So the technology is one part where we have to, IT and DX has to be very careful while selecting the solution. And as I told earlier, that we have to be very open to see whether the solution is flexible and scalable. So there should not be any resistance when we are going for the any escalation of scalable to any other level. So this is one part of the technology. There are lot of aspects where IT and DX can take care of that. Second and very important part where the human is involved actually. So human, you see, you built a very nice project, and if, for example, if you built S/4HANA and it is implemented with big 4 companies, so everyone say that yes, it is implemented by such a team and we should run it, but sometimes it fails. So why it is fails, then the story comes where the human is involved into that. And the resistance from the human is the biggest resistance, right? So how to tackle that, actually we have to look into that very minutely, and here the management role is very crucial. So management has to be very vigilant about this, that any solution where the investment is there, it should run, and it should be give a big boost into the business. So I think somewhere we have to have, employee engagement is very important. We have to employ, we have to onboard the good team, the champions team, and we should have the two-way communication with the employee, where employee can give their suggestions, employee can give their, any feedback on that. So active participation of the employee is crucial, so that the employee can also feel the active participation and the engagement with the project. So if he is aligned with the project, definitely he can carry, because the person can take the solution forward. So that is very crucial. So we can run so many programs for the to develop the humans to adopt the change. And second, the change management is also very important. How to take the change management to the employee, that is also very important. So we have to see all these aspects where we can engage the employee. We can run some reward and award program for the employee. We can give the training and the continuous development of the employee. So these kind of initiative is very important, which I think and I have experienced myself, because I have in past I have seen these challenges, and so by this we can successfully implement.
Thank you,
Recently we have
Mr.
implemented the project, which is very successful because of this model. So active participation of all the employees is required.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
I'd like to add
Yeah,
something.
yeah, please.
See, what Krishna is telling, that getting the people onboarding, it's a big challenge. So in our digital initiatives, we call that project is called Leap 200. It's 200 crores of saving in a year. That is our project. Where we kept dare to fail. Okay, and we kept some budget, and we give award also. So we want people to take the challenge. Maybe they fail. We sponsor, everything is be done, and we see that how many projects fail and at what stage they failed. Okay, and we give the award to them also, like they come to the stage and give the award the best project, same as they get the best award for the dare to fail projects. Okay, this actually move away the fear factor of the people to actually get involved and doing new projects. So that's important, we felt it and we kept budget and did it. It's a good point actually, Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Subhendu. So quickly moving to another questions to Mr. Balwant. What are the recommended best practices for the companies to ensure the security of their connected enterprise infrastructure? Very important question.
Yeah, it's a $1,000,000 question actually, because security has become a vital part in organizations today, and it has become a kind of business objective for organizations. So when I talk about security, security should be integrated in the organization's culture. It should be driven by the board, and it should go to the floor, basically like moving from boardroom to floors room in manufacturing areas. Now when I talk about connected enterprise, so just I'm giving you an example how to align security with your business operations. Let's say you have a machine in your production environment which runs 24/7. Now you have to make sure that this machine should be available 24/7. Now 3 principles of security: confidentiality, integrity, availability. Which principle can you align with this particular machine is availability. That machine should be available 24/7. Likewise, if I talk about your customers' data, today DPDP Act is there, which says that you have to protect customers' PI data. So when I talking about data, which principle you can apply over here? That means confidentiality, integrity. So this is how you have to align security with your business objectives. How you will meet this? There are 3-4 aspects. Like the first thing is that understanding your business operations and aligning these operations with your cyber security program. Second, having a comprehensive security framework under which you develop your processes, under which you implement the controls, like what kind of administrative controls you have, what kind of technical controls you have, and what kind of physical controls you have. So in this way you can develop your processes and make sure to enforce that processes within the group or within the organizations, that employees are following those processes. Third thing, like once you have robust security framework, you have to assess the controls you have deployed. You have to monitor those controls. You have to audit those controls. Why? Because how you would measure the effectiveness of those controls which you have implemented. So keep doing regular assessments of those controls. Let's say like you have a public facing application, like CRM is there, which is a public facing application. Do the regular vulnerability assessment of that application, that what kind of vulnerabilities are there. Public facing IPs, like machines you have, keep doing the vulnerability assessment of those machines, and those vulnerabilities to be shared with the stakeholders to close them timely. So in this way you can do regular assessment of your implemented controls. The fourth thing is that continuous awareness among the people. See, technology is a kind of dynamic thing which keeps changing, and likewise you have to make sure that your people are empowered and security aspects, that are you giving the right trainings, right skill sets to your workforce, right? Today there are a lot of platforms which are available to make employees aware about the security, what kind of technologies are there, what kind of threats are there. So you can do the phishing simulation tests with among those employees. Just increase the awareness of employees to empower them to work, because they are working on kind of machines which are very vulnerable to the threats, evolving threats. So this is how you can frame a holistic cyber security program within your organization.
Thank you, Mr. Balwant. And yes, it is very important to have audits and checks on whatever security compliance you have, to have regular checks on this, very important. So quickly moving to Mr. Vimal. So what is your say on this?
See, as far as information security of IT system is concerned, I don't think it's a new subject. We have been talking almost, I think, 30, 40 years now. This instrumentation piece, the control systems, etc. I'm coming from the connected enterprise, so my focus is more on the business technology side. This is the area which people have started talking in the last 5-10 years only, and even today there are not many matured solutions, believe me for this. Most of the places people are again talking about generic stuff. Windows update kar dijiye, virus laga dijiye, but there are very few solutions which understand the OT security requirements. That means the protocols, for example, which flow in a OT network. And all this sensitization, if you see, has happened because of the attack which happened in the past. We always feel no, see, instrumentation control systems, till the time they were isolated, they were good. The digitalization and the interconnection is one challenge which has brought in, which has to be addressed, otherwise your entire program is going to fail. And especially OT, very important, because in case of IT, what will happen is your system will go down, maybe for a week's time or so. But in case of a OT system, in case somebody compromises, it's a matter of life. It's a matter of asset also. Somebody takes control of a valve and blow it off, or a unit of blow it off, so you can understand the kind of damage which can. And there are some cases also, you know this, like colonial pipeline attack, or even in India also, if you see the Oil India systems are compromised, Nuclear Power Corporation of India, they were compromised, Tata Power were also compromised. So I think this is one focus area where everybody has to bring in as a part of the whole, this integrated system part. One or two things I think possibly which should be definitely done is when you are buying technology, those people, typically in organization, IT is not part of that. Those systems are typically bought by the business process guys. I think they have to be sensitized, and possibly in case IT can also participate in the security assessment of the OT system which are being brought in, be it instrumentation, be it electrical, everywhere there is a piece of IT, that is one. Second is, in case there is a legacy system, please go and talk back to that OEM whether he can give an upgrade which can take care of some of your security concerns. Third is like what you do a VA-PT for your IT system. There are VA you can, not PT probably, but VA definitely you can do for your OT system as well. Please make it a part of your annual charter or bi-monthly or bi-yearly or whatsoever it is, but that part should also be on your charter. And fourth is, please start looking at the solutions which are there in OT space for strengthening the cybersecurity of those systems. There are a couple of solutions. I don't want to name those solutions for the sake of openness, but there are many such solutions which can give you those kind of this thing, and possibly in the longer run you can also talk about, for example, we do security operations center 24/7 for IT systems. In my opinion, some point of time, and should not be very far off, where OT security monitoring 24/7 should be part of that system as well, so that you can have a composite view of the information security holistically for the entire organization.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vimal, sharing your insights. So quickly moving to the next question to Mr. Pranada. What are some effective strategies to increase the adoption and ensure the success of connected enterprise initiatives? Could you share some examples?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, what are some effective strategies to encourage the adoption and ensure the success of connected enterprise initiatives?
Okay. I think this is already discussed, in the last question. So the success factor, one success factor is, I told that the sponsorship of the management, then the projects to be led by the users, IT to be the business partner and not the driver or the leader of the projects, and also looking at the KPIs, which actually makes sense for the organization to look at transformation. Because nowadays any transformation has to be led by business, and also the financial results have to be positive in nature to get the taste of blood. And last but not the least, collaboration between the partners and the entire ecosystem. Many times the partners' capability and competencies are always in question. So we need to look at what kind of technology we are bringing in, who are the partner, Do they have the domain knowledge? Do they know the industry? Many times you will see they have done implementation in different industries, and you try to bring in the same partner doing implementation in your industry. It might lead into failures. They need to have the knowledge of your industry and the expertise in bringing the outside in, feedback, which can have a better impact in the making the use cases. I think these are the main, reasons of, I will say, success for any kind of digital transformation. And also look for smaller initiatives, look for early failures, early investments, and don't look at a large transformation.
Thank you, Pandita. So, Mr. Balwant Singh, you are also on this.
Yeah. So any initiative, if organizations are taking, the first thing is that there should be a vision, there should be a goal to achieve that initiative. So I think the first thing is that you should have a clear vision, clear goal, that what you are going to achieve and how to achieve it. Alongside, you should have a leadership commitment that has senior management approved your initiative. What are the kind of resources they are providing you, like workforce, budget, so and so forth. Second thing is, like, you need to assess your organization's capabilities, what the kind of capabilities your organization has, and how you can align those capabilities with that particular initiative, right? You need to identify the problem areas, that what are your organization's problem areas. Accordingly, you align your initiative with that particular problem area. The third thing is that, what we do basically, whenever we are taking any kind of initiative, we go for, OEMs, and we select the product and go for it. But the thing is that you need to invest in the right technology. What the kind of right technology will fulfill your requirement, right? Don't jump in the, kind of technologies. First, align your, requirements with the technology, then go for the technology. So you need to invest rightly in the technologies. Then fourth thing is that, keep continuous tracking of your, technology which you have deployed. Like, you need to monitor the KPIs, you need to monitor their effectiveness on frequent basis. Are these technologies working as per your, requirements which you, documented? So these are some, aspects where you can look into it and have a successful initiative.
Thank you, Mr. Balwant. So quickly, moving the last question, as we are running out of time. So in what, Mr. Subindu, so in what ways do connected enterprise promote more sustainable manufacturing practices? So could you share some examples?
Yeah. See, as I said earlier, that see, one of the major sustainable issue is the coal. Okay, we all burn coal for our energy. Okay, and you can see that every company, they are talking of by 2050 will be zero fossil. Okay, how we can actually reduce that 2050 to 2030? Okay, maybe earlier that. So that's the way actually we can think of that, how I can reduce my coal consumption. I'm just giving example coal consumption, so that my I'm keeping a better future for my future people who is going to come. Okay, how we'll get to do it? As I give an example, if you have the particular calorie value, or if you optimize your control loop of all the your machineries, actually you can reduce your coal consumption by minimum 10 to 15%. Minimum. Is this because this is my experience in my industry. We have reduced around 12% coal consumption in last 1 year. Okay, with the same product mix, nothing has changed. Only by putting the control loops, putting the right sensors, heat sensors, and the based on that making the steam generations. Okay, so this is the way one way we can do it. Second is other area of sustainability is the green environment. Okay, while using the fossil fuel, can I use the biomass? It's just the tweaking of your boilers, only your injectors and tweaking of boilers. How we can actually give the data that which all biomass can be used in a boiler, or what all changes, your minimum changes you have to make it. Okay, if you can do that, actually you can reduce your coal consumption by 20-30% with no time. It's easy. Maybe you can reduce to 60%, but 60 to 100 it will be tough. Maybe require a lot of technological interventions. But this is the area where you can actually work together, because if you know the problem statement is the sustainability, how I can make more environment friendly my product. Okay, so if you know the problem statement, you can actually backward work and do that. Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Vimal, your views on that?
Sure, thank you. See, there are multiple, in my opinion, there are multiple places where technology can play a role in for improving the sustainability. But I think two areas where I can definitely talk about is, one is, as I said, any large processing unit consumes some utilities. So for example, power if I take. So that means in case systems are interconnected, I can check the power consumption of each of those units. In case those are in ideal state, I can control it, then possibly I can do energy optimization. So any saving of energy, you understand, it plays a very significant role in the whole sustainability program. And it is happening. There are multiple solutions which are there, and in our place also we use such solutions. That is one. Second is the emission part of it, because we are very concerned about the whole emission this thing and how to control. First of all, how to have a view of the emissions. So for example, in any large manufacturing unit, you have multiple IoT devices, online analyzers, which can continuously tell you about what is the current emission level of different kind of streams. It may be SOx, it may be NOx, it may be some methane, it can be many other things. So in case we are able to do that, then at least you are knowing what is the emission level, and of course you will try to change your levers in terms of whatever instrumentation controls available with you for controlling the emission. But there I am seeing, and in fact we have some practical cases where we have worked upon and we have been very successful, is can we apply data science into predicting what is going to be, see, emission in case it has already happened, it is just a reactory control you have. But in case you are able to predict it, what is going to be the emission level 15 minutes or 30 minutes from now, and then you accordingly plan your reactive action also, possibly in case you can do in a closed loop fashion. Closed loop fashion means you are able to control it through your same instrumentation control system. This is one of the fantastic which you can happen, and there are opportunities for doing so. So you can have that understanding, and then you can predict it, and then you can control it. So I think emission controls in a large manufacturing unit can play a very key role, and that may be possible only because of the whole integration of different systems which have been done in the system. Plus on top of it, the IoT devices which are put on top of these systems.
Thank you, Mr. Vimal, sharing your insights and real examples. So I would request audience, if anybody having any questions, they can ask. So I think we are good to go, and thank you every panelist for their views. Thank you. It was very nice to having interaction with you guys. Thank you.